Hello, my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. I hope you're pumped. I hope you're psyched. I hope you're stoked. These are three different ways to say ready to go. I think you say mentalizado, con muchas ganas, con mucha energía. So, guys, with that said, hold on to your hats because it's time for liftoff.
T-minus
10,
9,
you know the
8,
rest.
7,
Come on.
6, 5,
This is a good warm up.
4, 3,
7.
2,
Oh, wait.
1, 0.
Here we go.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Hold on tight.
Liftoff. 30 minutes.
It's going to be a bumpy exit.
Get ready.
There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get
your
up.
seatbelts.
Get up there.
Get ready for the
Let's
ride
get
of your
going.
life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio.
It's a show with no name. Top of the morning to you.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? All right, folks. Is this a rock and roll show or an English class? It is whatever you want it to be. Call it whatever you will. That's why the show doesn't have a name. It's never had a name. Why define it? It is what it is. Are you having fun? Are you learning? Well, then good. Goal accomplished. Welcome, folks. Welcome. What a pleasure it is to have you all on board every day participating. I get comments. I mean, seriously, I'm such a lucky guy. I mean, I get flooded with comments, and honestly, thank you. It's magical. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you. Firstly, thanks for the comments, thanks for the feedback, and thanks for learning with me and getting what I'm doing and getting what we're doing here on Vaughn Radio. As you know, you got a plethora, a wide range of amazing shows here on Vaughn Radio. You can always come to my show warmed up. Vamos a pronunciar esta, warmed up, by listening to my buddy Fitz and his program, No Excuses. And don't forget, after Fitz, you got this wacky guy. That's me, yours truly, un servidor. After, you got Jules with Let's Get Random. And man, you've got amazing shows all afternoon long. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the show with no name. We have lifted off, and we're going to go to a lot of exciting places on our English adventure today. I just wanted to remind you guys that you can download this wherever you listen to podcasts. So if you can't tune in live one day, no problem. If you can't ever tune in live, in fact, let's do that. Let's give a nice round of applause for all the people who tune in, but when they get a chance, cuando tengan la oportunidad. So a shout out to all of you who aren't getting that protagonism. You're not here every day, but you are here every day. We know you're here, and that's awesome to have you on board. And guys, we've got a lot of amazing challenges lined up. And if you like challenges, well, then you better join us on February 1st. Psst. Hey there. It's time for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Do you know who's hosting this time? I'll give you a clue. He's the Texan who started this company.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think you know me, and I know a lot of you.
Did you say Richard Vaughn? Right on. Join us February 1st at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amaniel 23, for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by the one and only Richard Vaughn. It's gonna be tons of fun. That's right, folks. February 1st. Get there at 8. I know it says 8:30, but get there at 8 because, well, your team is quite important. It's really important that you have a well-rounded team. And if you have a well-rounded team, then you're going to do just fine. I had a well-rounded I took my own advice last time and I won. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's rigged. Eso está mañado." I'm like, "No, no, no, guys, you don't understand. I never win anything in my life." So this was a first for me. And that reminds me, I've got a burger and a beer awaiting when I get there. Why? Well, because I won last time. So remember, there are prizes. There are so many pros to going to our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. You get to meet Richard Vaughn, the man, the myth, the legend. He'll be there. Kyle Miller will be there as well, and all the rest of us. And speaking of Kyle Miller, today's pop quiz is sponsored by Kyle Miller. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Say it. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. That's right. It's our pop quiz where you never know what's going to hit you and what angle it's coming from. Well, I just told you today we're going to look at something from Kyle Miller's show, Drive Time. It is an amazing show. If you haven't heard of it, it's called Drive Time.
Welcome to Drive Time with Kyle Miller.
Drive Time. That's right, folks. Drive Time every day on Vaughn Radio. If you like challenges, if you like to learn the ins and outs, los pormenores, the ins and outs of English, make sure you follow the show Drive Time, and also that you follow Kyle. Follow Kyle. And I said the word file. I mixed the two. Follow Kyle Miller on social media. All right, well, here's the translation that he gives us. If you already checked out his show, then I think you will be familiar with this translation. If not, well, this is great. So either way, it's a review if you've already seen it, and it's great to review. We all know the importance of reviewing stuff. And of course, if you haven't seen this structure before, if you met it with Kyle, well, you'll be exposed to it for the first time. The translation is, estamos al borde del precipicio. Estamos al borde del precipicio. That's a difficult one for me to say in Spanish. Estamos al borde del precipicio. And while you guys are translating that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Alexa. Ahora puedes aprender inglés con Vaughan y Alexa de Amazon. Solo tienes que decir:
Alexa, quiero aprender inglés.
Bienvenido a Aprende Idiomas con Alexa. Hoy vas a poder aprender lecciones de inglés nivel iniciación con Alexa en colaboración con Vaughan. Podrás aprender desde nuevo vocabulario a pronunciación y mucho más. Cada lección contiene secciones de práctica y de preguntas. Empecemos. Veamos ahora 5 actividades con el verbo ir.
To go.
Ir al gimnasio es.
To go to the gym.
La G de
Gym.
suena casi como una H.
To go to the gym.
Dilo tú.
To go to the gym.
Correcto.
Eso es. Practica inglés con Vaughan y con Alexa de Amazon. Acuérdate, solo tienes que decir,
Alexa, quiero aprender inglés.
esto sí que es un
Buen comienzo. Te toca.
easy peasy lemon squeezy. Try it out, ponlo a prueba, and let us know what you think. And also, guys, Kyle Miller's translation. I see we've got a lot of people participating, but I also see that we've got a blinking light over here. A blinking light is, as we said, una luz intermitente. Well, I guess we've got a message here from maybe one of my friends from back in the day, or maybe it's one of you guys. Well, let's see. Let's see who we've got here. Hi, thanks for calling the show with no name. I can't get to the phone right now, so please leave a message after the tone.
What up, show with no namers? This is Monse. How are you? Oh my god, this week has been the longest. I'm exhausted. This reminds me a joke that I saw the other day on Instagram. It said, when you think it's the weekend, but it's only Wednesday. And there was the picture of the weekend, the singer, but he was all dressed up like Wednesday Addams. It was hilarious. Well, I guess I just want to say thank you. Thank you. All the time spent with you, improving my English every day is paying off. So thank you. And that's it. I'm gonna grab a cup of wine and just chillax. See you tomorrow, guys. But thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best teacher and classmates that a mess like me can ask for. See ya.
All right, all right. That was your classmate, my student, Monse. And I think everybody here will agree that Monse did a spectacular job. We're going to tweak some things. Vamos a retocar. We're going to tweak a few things, as always. That's what I'm. See, before I could only help you with your writing, with your listening a little bit, but now I can help you with your speaking, thanks to technology. And as I said, it's a little bit more work for me, but I enjoy doing it because I like hearing from you guys. I'm sure your fellow classmates like hearing from you as well. So I've got a lot of people. In fact, my inbox is almost full. We're going to hear from Kubla in the coming days. We're going to hear from my boy, MC Squared. My boy, mi chico, es mi mejor amigo, mi colega. We're also going to hear from my friend from Italy. He's a bit of a playboy, a bit of a player, Salvatore Saltamonte. Nice guy. You'll hear from him. I think you'll like him. He's a little bit too much, though, with the ladies. He gets carried away. Se le va la pinza. You're also going to hear from Pastor Pete. He is the reverend at my church, and hallelujah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. And you're also going to hear from a good friend of mine from Brooklyn, Sal Manila. So all of these guys are going to be calling in the future. Plus, as you see, my daughter loves to call in too. I urge you guys, if you want to send in a message, keep it under a minute, please. And obviously, don't do it in your bathroom with an echo. Find a nice little corner of the room where there isn't a lot of noise. What I always do is I touch up, retocar, I touch up the audio. But again, the better it's recorded, as somebody who produces a podcast every week, and I produce this show live, the best post-production is a good production, right? So the less you have to do after to fix audio or to do, the better, right? The fewer effects you have to use, the better, right? That means you got to have a good mic, a good room. There are a lot of factors, as with anything in the world. So we're going to hear, as I said, from so many interesting people. I'd love to hear from you. As we just heard from Monse, we've already heard from Nihad as well. Just send me a voice message, okay? You can do it on WhatsApp or whatever, and then send that to my email. Jot this down. Apunta esto. Alonso@grupovon.com. So it's Alonso, double A, No hay punto. There's no dot. There's no underscore. No hay guión bajo. It's aalonso@grupovon.com. Send me your messages. I'd love to hear from all of you. And as I said, I think I speak on behalf of all of us. All right. So, Monse, another round of applause, by the way. Monse, you did a fantastic job, and your classmates feel the same. I'm getting all the comments now, and we'll take a look at those comments in just a moment. But a few things. Monse, that was what up. Okay, yeah, you can say what's up. You can say sup, que es muy nativo, sup, S-U-P, sup, con el, you nod your head, también mueves la cabeza, sup, ¿qué pasa? What's up? Pero what up es muy nativo también. No, muchas veces omitimos ese what's up, what up. So excellent. That was totally native over there. Let's see if I can read my chicken scratch. Si puedo leer mi letra aquí. You said it reminds me. Just be careful. You were missing the of. Si no me equivoco, we can listen to it again if you want. But it said it reminds me of. Okay. For some reason, I feel like we were missing the of there. And again, these notes are not just for Monse. They're for anybody who wants to improve their English, their pronunciation, their speaking. Right. The next one, Monse. Just be careful too. This is a very common mistake. Your pronunciation of said, you said said a little bit. So era un poco said. Y es más como tengo sed. That's what I said. I said tengo sed. I think it's exactly the same. So be careful. As I said, that's a common mistake, as well as the third person. So people say says. No, it's says and said. Everybody write that down, not just Monse. All right. What else? I love how you get stuff from the internet. She explained a joke that she saw in a meme. You say meme, we say meme. And that is one of the greatest ways to learn, by humor, as we do in this, your joking section, pop culture. And that's what memes are. So good job there, Monse. Fantastic. Let's see. You used the word hilarious. You didn't say very funny. You said hilarious. So that's wonderful too. Great adjective. You also used the phrasal verb to pay off, dar frutos. So that was. And you said something like a mess like me, un desastre como yo no se merece. Monse, you want me to let you in on a little secret? We're all a mess. It just, how well do you keep it together in front of people? We're all a mess to some extent or another, but I think everybody will agree, and I can see the comments now. Monse, and it takes guts. No, requiere agallas. It takes guts because you're exposing yourself. You're on the radio, you're on live stream, and you sounded absolutely fantastic. All right. Well, we've got a lot to do, so let's go on over to our section where we look at a pop quiz. As I said today, it was from our buddy Kyle Miller. Let's go on over to our virtual chat room, shall we? Jesus says, morning, AA and friend. Jesus, you only have one friend in the group? I could swear, juraría. I could swear you have more than one friend. Good morning to you, Jesus. Laura, there's one friend. She says, good morning, beautiful show with no namers to infinity and beyond. Nice one. Are you saying that because Buzz is behind me? Buzz Lightyear? Nice one. There's Diego Alonso, Don Diego, as they call him. Good morning, Alberto, friends and family greetings. This lovely morning from Greenwood Lake, New York. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Likewise. This is a really good one if you didn't know it. Likewise. Igual te digo. Igualmente. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, hi there, friends. How you doing? Great. Now that you're here, Born. Kubla. Good morning, ladies and gents. Good morning, Kubla. He says a very catchy melody. Well, yeah, we want you to get hooked on English. Lemura. Lemura says, good morning, Alberto and friends. Ready for another amazing show. Let's go. You're a poet, and you didn't even know it. Okay, Born to Iron Man, taking a stab at today's pop quiz. Kyle's Twitter translation. And it says, estamos al borde del precipicio. Uf, como me cuesta. And Born to Iron Man says, we are at the cliff's edge. That's right. You know AC/DC? Cliff Burton. Cliff Burton. Lemura. Lemura says, we are on the verge of the cliff. Wow, this is poetic. Lemura. On the verge of. En el borde de. This would be the one we use figuratively. So excellent job, Lemura. Kubla says, we are on the edge of the cliff. Yeah, that's fine. We are at the cliff's edge or on the cliff's edge, as Born to Iron Man said. Or we are at the edge of the cliff. Both of them sound great. There's Laura. She knew it. There's Nihad. Nihad says it may be cold outside. Oh, yeah. It's freezing. But your energy and smiles make everything seem, right? Because energy and smiles, plural. No S there. Seem good. Good morning, Alberto and friends. Good morning to you, Nihad. Pleasure. As always. Kubla says, kudos, Monse. See, I told you your classmates would be proud of you. Born to Iron Man says, Monse passed it with flying colors. Excellent job. To pass with flying colors. Aprobar. Aprobadísimo. Laura says, we are at the edge of the cliff, and I'm on the brink of having a heart attack because I'm afraid of heights. Laura, you're a genius. Like Lemura. On the brink of and on the verge of, or more in the figurative sense. But I love how you used both of them. And don't have a heart attack, Laura. We don't want you to have a heart attack. Nihad says, Monse, you're the best. Congratulations. Your accent is awesome. I second the motion. Laura says, what a great message, Monse. Well done. Yes, I think everybody will agree. Lemura says too, great, Monse. Keep up the great job. Keep up the great job. Awesome. It's interesting, this one here. So keep up the great work, but you're doing a great job. You know what I mean? It's weird, Lemura, but thank you. It's a good one to because it's like that's the icing on the cake and that's the cherry on top. You can say one or the other, but don't mix them. But great. Keep up the great work. You're doing a great job. I think that would be the most natural way to use those two expressions. And I agree, Lemura. Wow. A fantastic job. Let's see. Born to Iron Man, thank you. My assistant, my historian, my rocker. That's right. And he's a little bit off his rocker. Off your rocker. Estás como una cabra. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to use the expression. But you're right. Thank you. Thanks. I can't, it's a miracle I get through this 2-hour period. Okay, I forget things and all of that jazz. Y todo eso. But thankfully, you guys are on top of it. Estáis encima. Controláis. And he says Cliff Burton was the powerful bassist of Metallica. That's right. That's right. Thank you, sir. Chris Balrol. She says, morning, Alberto and mates. I only wanted to say hello because yesterday I couldn't attend the show and neither today. Oh, no. Don't tell us that, Chris. She says, I loved listening to Monse. I really want to meet her in the flesh. And she says, have a nice day, dear people. Wow. Awesome, guys. Well, remember, if you want to send me a message, you can do it. Send it to my email at Vaughn. It's aalonso@grupovaughn.com. But right now, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. The good news, we'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to stop by our website. It's grupovaughn.com. Also, you can follow us on all the different social media platforms. We are everywhere. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and also look me up. Búscame a mí también. And Kyle Miller, Jules, Tosh Pasqua, Dave Boyce. They all have social media, and they all use their social media to teach English. So it's just another free way you can learn English. Also, remember, if you haven't followed For Your English, FYI, my self-produced podcast, make sure you follow. It's free, and you'll get an interesting episode / topic every week. / es barra. And remember, if you have any suggestions for upcoming episodes, upcoming topics, let me know. I'm all ears. You say the same expression. Don't let me know now because I'm not going to write it down now, but you can always send me a message via social media. As I always say with the topics, some of the greatest topics that have come out of FYI For Your English have come from you guys, my students. So thank you. Keep those suggestions coming. Que sigan llegando. And right now, folks, it's time for Say What? Say what? What? That's right, amigos. This is the Say What soundbite. This is where we hear a bunch of different people, famous people, and maybe you've heard their voices before, maybe you haven't. Well, either way, amigos, it's a chance to hear all different accents, all different situations. Also, guys, I've got some more information for you here. The Easter Week Intensives at Vaughn. Los Intensivos Semana Santa. The Easter Week Intensives are right now on sale. So it's usually 157 euros. Guess what? It's on sale now for 110, and there are limited spots. So this is the Vaughn Intensive Easter program. It's from the 3rd to the 5th of April, 2 hours a day, and you've got 3 different options. You got morning options from 8 to 10, afternoon from 2 to 4, and evening from 7 to 9. It's our Easter intensives. I know many people who take their Easter break, and instead of getting drunk and getting fat, which is usually what I do, they take that time to do something special. And what better time than when there's a special deal? As I said, it's normally 157 euros, and now it's 110. So that's like 47 euros off. Un descuento de 47 euros. I think it's a great deal. The Vaughn Intensive Semana Santa. You can get more information, as always, on our website, grupovaughn.com. You can call us. It's 911-385831. Or you can reach out, contactar, you can reach out on social media. But again, if you're following us, then you'll know about all these special deals when they come out, cuando salen. And you'll be the first one because, as I said, spots are limited. Las plazas están limitadas, right? All right, well, today's Say What soundbite, this is a classic over here. You know, certain people are known as icons. You know, some people are famous. Some people are famous for being rich or famous for being famous. I don't even understand all the levels. When I was younger, you had to be good at something. It wasn't like, well, my parents are famous and we live in Beverly Hills. Awesome. I'm happy for you, seriously. But like, what do you do? Like, you know, can you shoot a mean jump shot better than anybody else? Because Michael Jordan could do that back in the day. So our role models, our heroes, I sound like an old man here, but it's true, had to be famous for something. But this guy's not just famous. This guy reaches the level of iconic, all right? And maybe it has something to do with his death. I won't say any more because I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, me and my big freaking mouth. All right, well, here we go, folks. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time. Please write down what you hear.
I've got a bad reputation around NBC as a troublemaker. The network brass think, oh, actors are stupid. So naturally, any actor who thinks for himself or has any sort of intellect is a troublemaker to them.
All right, there you go, amigos. Here's some chuckles in the background, unas risitas in the background. All right. I'll give you another 10, 20 seconds to write down what you heard, and then I'm going to play it again for the second time, and then we'll discuss. Lo discutimos. And just be careful. We're not going to argue. We're going to discuss, okay? De hecho, lo acabo de apuntar. I just wrote that down for one of my videos. As you guys know, I post videos on social media I think every day, even on vacation. So make sure you're following me. Make sure you're following Vaughn. And that's just another way, aside from listening to Vaughn Radio, to make sure you're learning some stuff in English, some concepts, some pronunciation. You know, a little bit each day goes a long way. Un poco cada día da para muchísimo. All right, here we go, folks. I'm going to play it for you a second time. This is the Say What soundbite. Please write down what you hear.
I've got a bad reputation around NBC as a troublemaker. The network brass think, oh, actors are stupid. So naturally, any actor who thinks for himself or has any sort of intellect is a troublemaker to them.
All right, there you go, folks. That was the second listen. You're going to hear it another 2 times, and hopefully you guys will be able to figure out who this person is, but more importantly, what this person is saying. But right now, I want you to tell me what you heard in your own words, and I want you to use your best English possible. Let's see. Kubla in our virtual chat room here says, however you slice it or dice it. And you know what that is? That's totally native. Pongas como lo pongas. Monse just gave us a lesson. Yeah, she sounded totally native. Let's see. Kubla also says getting drunk and getting fat, which is usually what I do. Me and most people, right? If the weather's nice, you're, but I'm saying do something productive. And this is cool. This is something you can do. This is something you can, you can meet people. I've worked on these as a teacher, these intensives, and they're absolutely wonderful. It's just like a boost, un aumento de inglés. And what it does is it kind of re-energizes you, te recarga las baterías. And I think that's important. It's not just what you learn, but it's, you're focused again because you just had a teacher, do all these different drills with you, and you saw other people, and maybe this guy's below your level, but you're like, I remember making that mistake. And the other guys, you're like, well, one day I want to be on his level. So, or her level. So that's the thing too. It's not just what you learn, but it gets you in the right mindset, as we say. All right. While you guys are thinking over our Say What soundbite, I think we're going to start moving on to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. It is our Spelling Bee only on the show with no name. And folks, this is where we really separate the men from the mice, right? The women from the women from the, what's an animal? The whales. Yo qué sé. Era para que suene igual. This is where we see who's got what it takes. ¿Quién tiene madera? Especially in this first round where it's absolutely, it's hard for a native speaker to jot down all of these words. But before we start our spelling bee, I'm just trying to get you focused, as we just said, in the right mindset, pensando como tienes que pensar, right? Let's take a look at what you guys had to say about Say What. Oh my goodness, there he is. I mentioned you yesterday, Leo. It's been a while since I read your name. I hope everything is going okay, or as we say, A-okay. And Leo says this American is saying that he has a very bad reputation on NBC, and they consider him a troublemaker. Every time I think of this brother, I feel a blue feeling. Leo, you're a genius. I can't, you know it. I sing your praises. Canto elogios, como decimos de ti. Excellent. And he told me indirectly, in a roundabout way, he told me that he knows who it is. So great job, Leo, and welcome back. I don't know if you've been here and you haven't been participating, but it's great to read your name. Kubla says, I heard an American stand-up comedian performing in front of a giggling audience. He discussed how NBC Network deems him, le considera, great word, deems him a troublemaker because he has a mind of his own. Kubla, you really summed it up beautifully. Beautifully. I couldn't have done it better myself, honestly, bro. Laura, I heard the voice of an American actor saying that he's got a bad reputation around the network, NBC, because any actor thinks because any actor that thinks and has an intellect is a troublemaker to them. Great, Laura. Nihad says, Nihad, I'm going to give you the totally native, but I got to tweak it a little bit. Nihad says, he says, I give my college try, pero la expresión es, I'm going to give it the college try or the old college try. Voy a intentar, a ver, no, a ver qué pasa. So excellent, Nihad. We just got to say, though, instead of I give my college try, I'm going to give it the old college try. Esto vamos a intentar por intentar. And he says, I guess it's an American, con mayúscula, nationality, American comedian. He talks about his reputation around NBC as a troublemaker. He says that they take all actors as stupid. For them, any actor is bad. All right, well, you guys, wonderful job. Wonderful job, Leo, Kubla, Laura, Nihad. Oh, here's Lemura. Lemura says, I heard a man speaking about his bad reputation in NBC of being a troublemaker. He gives a punch to them, un puñetazo, because they think anyone thinking by themselves is a troublemaker. Just be careful thinking for themselves, because to think by yourself is tú solito, but to think for yourself is you can come up with your own opinions. You don't need somebody to sway you, convencerte, to sway. Great word. So wonderful job to all of you. And now it's time for our spelling bee. As you guys know, one of the hardest parts of the show. No. Did I say hardest? One of the most challenging parts. This is round one. What are these words and what do they have in common? I'll tell you right now, they're proper nouns. So that means they're capitalized. Are you ready? The first word is Budweiser. The second one is Coors. The third one is Anchor space Steam. The next one is Uengling. The fifth one is Pabst space BLUE space RIBBON. And the last one is SCHLITZ. Oh my God, I need a sip of water 1 second. Hold on. Oh man. I can't go too much faster than that. I had to breathe between words, guys. All right, well, let me give you a little clue. You know, I always like to give you these audio clues if I've got them. I've come to love sound effects because you can really, you can do whatever you. Oh, no, now I'm spilling. Oh, no, it's overflowing. See? You can create whatever scenario you want. All right. Did anybody get all 6 of these words? Going once, going twice. Sold to our amigo Born to Iron Man. But wait, Kubla. It looks like you both got it at the same time, 11:16 a.m. One of you got it. Well, I haven't checked it yet. Okay. So, but right now, if they're right, Kubla got it, and Born to Iron Man. Kubla on Facebook, Born to Iron Man on YouTube. All right, let's see then. Kubla, you've got a mistake in 1, 2, 3, in your fourth one. So the fourth one is incorrect, Kubla. A great effort nonetheless. Let's see, Born to Iron Man. Did you get them all right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's why he earned his nickname, Born to Spelling Bee. Nice job. Wow. And Kubla, excellent. Just, hey, not bad. Not bad. One little word. Well, excuse me, one little letter off. Lemura, you're missing one letter as well. And the last one is a little bit wrong as well. But hey, excellent effort. But Born to Iron Man, you outdid yourself. Te pasaste ahí 3 pueblos, en el buen sentido. You outdid yourself to outdo. So wonderful job, dude. Unfucking believable. Seriously. It is magical what you do in this section, buddy. All right. Now, this is for the rest of us mere mortals. Los que somos gente normal que un día moriremos, not like Iron Man. All right, here we go. This is the second round of today's Spelling Bee. Let's go. The first word is Budweiser. The second one is Coors. The third one is ANCHOR space STEAM. The fourth one is YUENGLING. The fifth one is PABST space BLUE space RIBBON. And the last one is SCHLITZ. All right, my amigos, there you go. Those are your words. As Born to Iron Man said, there's no doubt in my mind these are beers. But wait a second, buddy. They ain't just any beers. No son cervezas cualquieras. They ain't just any beers. These are American beers made in the USA, baby. So let's crack a beer. Well, it's a little bit early, isn't it? What time is it? Wait, do whatever you want. You're responsible adults. I obviously can't because you don't want me slurring my words when I'm doing the show. It's not a good idea. You know, as a teacher, as a broadcaster, I don't think doing it under the influence is recommendable. All right, so let's see how many people got it on the second go. I imagine many more people have figured it out. The reason I chose these beers, well, A, I love beer. And B, because today in 1935, Gottfried Kruger Brewing Company started selling the first canned beer. That's right, amigos. And canned is in lata. Now, I don't remember Kruger's. Maybe Dad, are you here? It was the location of the brewery, or at least their offices, was in Newark, New Jersey. And they opened in 1858, and they closed up shop, cerraron el chiringuito, in 1961. So they were known for being the first ones to can beer, because you could buy it in bottles, you could buy it on draft, maybe. You could even buy the kegs, los barriles. This is my kind of vocabulary, huh? So they started selling the first canned beer. And the word canned, that's a good word if you haven't heard it before. Canned is another way of saying despedido también. He was canned from the canning plant de la fábrica de enlatar. All right. All right, so let's take a look at these over here. The first one is Budweiser, but let's call a spade a spade. Las cosas como son. Everybody calls it Bud. Nobody says, can I have a Budweiser? And in general, I think I could be wrong here. You'd have to look at statistics. I wouldn't go out of your way to do it, but if I'm not mistaken, they sell a lot more Bud Light than regular Bud Light, because everybody's like, well, then I can drink some more. Okay, right. Keep telling yourself that. Sigue diciéndote eso. A ver si te autoconvences. So it's an easy one to remember too. I was having some buds with my buds. Estaba tomándome unas Budweiser con mis colegas. And no es Budweiser, we say wiser, como más sabio. Bud, my bud is wiser than you. Mi amigo es más sabio que el tuyo. My bud is wiser than yours. So we don't, the same thing. It's reminding me of other brands. Marlboro. We call it Marlboro. McDonald's. We say McDonald's. Microsoft. I know Microsoft. So we don't always agree on that. But Bud, it's the all-American beer, but it's owned by a Dutch company now, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Anheuser-Busch was bought by a big conglomerate, and technically it's not American beer anymore. Although when they sell it, I bought it when I was there on the 4th of July. I bought a 30-pack of Bud, and they had the American flag, and it said freedom. I'm like, I'm buying it just for the packaging. And you know what? I'll tell you my love affair with Bud. I drank Bud when I was in college because it was cheap. En universidad, porque bueno, es barato, right? I drank it with my buds. Then, as I got older, I became more of a connoisseur, and I started, trying pale ales, IPAs. You say IPA, we don't say IPA, we say IPA. Decimos las letras, ¿no? Que ahora están muy populares aquí. So, these are. This is something that you hate. You love it, you hate it, and now I like Bud again because everybody says, well, it doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like water. I'm like, well, that's exactly why I like it. I don't want something heavy now. So I've come full circle with Bud. But a great thing about Bud is I'll always have those memories of sipping, or really I should say gulping some buds with my buds. Well, listen, buds, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. I can't believe we are halfway through the show. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, you got great programs all day long. After today's show, you've got Jules and the program Let's Get Random. Lots of positive feedback coming in over there. Keep up the great work, Jules. We're all really proud of you. Orgullosos. I mean, I've been reading some amazing feedback, so if you haven't heard what all the hype is about, tune in right after today's show. The best way to make sure you never miss an episode is download the Vaughn Radio app. Also, follow us on social media, and this way you are in the know, enterados. Tenéis conocimiento. You are in the know. You're knowledgeable. All right, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name. I can't believe how fast we are flying through today's show. We've got a lot to do, so let's rock and roll with today's homophones.
Homophones on the Show with No Name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the Show with No Name. The Show with No Name. Homophones on the Show with No Name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the Show with No Name. The Show with No Name. The Show with No homophones. Show with No Name.
The show with no name. Yeah, that's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to take a look at two words that may or may not sound the same. I'm going to leave it up to you. And in the end, I'll let you know. Yesterday's was a tough one. I guess it seemed like it was a tough one at least. But this one, I think everybody's going to get. I could be wrong here. I've been wrong before. But without any further ado, sin más, here are your homophones or imposter homophones right now. The first word is to place something horizontally. So extender, poner. So I can poner algo en la mesa. Okay. Pon eso en la mesa. It's also hacer recaer. Okay, echar la culpa en alguien. It's poner huevos. Una gallina pone huevos. It's that word. Okay. And anything else? Oh, it's also laico. So this has got really, también es un polvo. I'm not talking about dust or powder or talcum. I'm talking about un polvo, like, oh, yes. And as I see, it's got a lot of different meanings. But that first word, wow, what a rich word. Tantos significados. The second word is guirnalda hawaiana. You say hawaiana, we say Hawaiian. So this typical necklace that Hawaiian people wear, made of flowers. It's really actually beautiful. I'm dying to go to Hawaii. I would love to go to Hawaii one day. All right. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. This is the third listen of today's Say What soundbite. Please write down what you hear.
I've got a bad reputation around NBC as a troublemaker. The network brass think, oh, actors are stupid. So naturally, any actor who thinks for himself or has any sort of intellect is a troublemaker to them.
All right. There you go, folks. You're going to hear that one more time. Hopefully, somebody will be able to figure it out. Usually, a couple people get it. So good luck to you. And as I said, if not, you got one more shot. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on in the show. Also, what we need to do is we've got to look at our spelling bee as well. We'll go over these brewskis, another way to say beers, brewskis. We also say cervezas. Ahora lo tienes que pronunciar a lo guiri ahí. Cervezas. And it's funny because Jaime says it's not beer o'clock yet. Well, Jaime, it's beer o'clock somewhere in the world, isn't it? Eso es cuando alguien dice... It's beer o'clock somewhere in the world, isn't it? So let's see. Born to Iron Man says it seems that Budweiser is in multiple disputes against a Czech company for its trademark. That's true. I tried that. In fact, I know what you're talking about. As a beer connoisseur born to Iron Man, I tried that original beer that Budweiser is based on. So it tastes a little bit different than the American version of Budweiser. If I'm not mistaken, they brew it with rice. Again, I like Budweiser because it's not a heavy beer. And you don't have Bud Light here, which I think is a huge seller in the United States. Leonardo says, bravo, guys, and thank you, teacher. I'm as fit as a fiddle. Oh, wow. You know what that smells like to me? Estoy en buenísima forma, but I've been a bit busy lately. I hope my return would be to stay. Well, Leonardo, we're always here when you need us, but we get it if you've got to do other things. As we say, needs must. Prioridades son prioridades. Believe me, I know it. I do half of the things I want to do and 99% of the things I need to do, you know. But English is a great thing. It's a positive thing. It'll never be. That's what I love about what we do here. This is a positive thing. Of course, if you don't have time, we understand too, because time is of the essence. El tiempo es precioso, amigos. So I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Okay, let's take a look then at the other beers. Coors is our second one. Coors, which is another one which is at the same level almost as Budweiser. Coors, or again, Coors Light. So you'll see people drink more Bud Light and more Coors Light than Bud or Coors. But those are like the big boys there, you know. Then you've got Anchor Steam, which now this is not a light beer. This is not, you know, a lager kind of beer. You say rubia, we say a lager. Anchor Steam, they have it in Spain. I've gotten it a few times here. Anchor Steam is the kind of beer that's got a lot of flavor. It's from San Francisco, but you can't have too many of them. It's like Guinness too. I love Guinness, but I can't have like 6 Guinnesses because that'll kill me. So Anchor Steam, it's really good. It's Vapor de Ancla. The next one's Yingling. Now, this is a really popular one from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's got probably one of the oldest beer traditions in the United States. So some of our great beers come from this area. And if I'm not mistaken, Yingling is, if not the first, one of the first commercial American beers. I think that's their tagline, like still the oldest or something. Yingling. It's great. Yingling, they really make excellent beer, and they have all different kinds. The next one, I don't know. These next two, how could I describe these? These are the ones that your grandfather bought, and you couldn't get any cheaper than these, but they're classics. You know what I'm saying? So now when you go to New York, you go to like a redneck bar, and they charge you like $10 for a can of this. And before it was like 10 cents. I don't know what would be the equivalent in Spain, but these next two, again, they're las de toda la vida, las baratas, baratas. The fifth one is Pabst Blue Ribbon. And that reminds me of my grandpa, God rest his soul, mi abuelo. Hey, this one's for you, Grandpa. He wasn't a big beer drinker, but he would buy Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR, or Schlitz, our last one, because those were the ones that were always the most affordable, if you will. So there you go, guys. There's our little foray, incursión, our little foray into beer. Also, guys, I want you to give a nice round of applause to your amigo who figured out today's Say What soundbite. It's Kubla. Nice job, Kubla. All right, let's go on over to our homophone section. We need to figure this out. The first one to participate is Kubla, and he says the correct words. That's right. And he says they sound the same. All right, let's see if your classmates agree. Born to Iron Man, those are the correct words, and he agrees. He says they sound alike. And the second word, does anybody know? Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys, this is a nerdy trivia question. Does anybody know why the second word reminds me of aviation? See if anybody in Spain can figure out why the second word reminds me of aviation, even though technically it's not. I'll explain later. So Born to Iron Man agrees with his buddy. You guys should have some buds afterwards if you're right. Laura says the two words are and they sound the same. Wonderful, wonderful. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Lemura figured out our Say What soundbite as well. Lemura, wonderful job over there. All right, Laura, Born to Iron Man, Kubla, and anybody else? Well, most of you, no, all of you agree that these two words sound the same. All right, the first word is lay. Please lay that on the table. The British say, please lay the table. Eso es poner la mesa. Okay? Americans, we would say set the table. My mother would say, Alberto, can you set the table? Dinner will be ready in 10 minutes. Can you set the table? The British say lay. Piénsalo, poner algo encima de algo, to lay something on something. Okay? Lay. L-A-Y. No es lie, because lie is L-I-E. And a lot of native speakers even mix those up. Lie, L-E-E, versus lay, L-A-Y. And what's the difference? Well, there's an easy way to look at the difference. Write this down. You lie down, but you lay something down. Make sense? So lie doesn't require a direct object. I'm going to go lie down. L-I-E, como mentir, el mismo. I'm going to go lie down right now. I don't need anybody or anything to do that for me. Yeah, I do it. There's no direct object. Now, if I lay something down somewhere, something has to put it there. A thing doesn't lay down by itself. You catch my drift? So they're very confusing words. And the first word, lay, L-A-Y, is conjugated lay, laid, laid. So he laid that on the table, right? Will you please lay that on the table? She said, I was a good lay. Dijo que yo era un buen polvo. Hey, I'm just teaching you the language. I didn't come up with it. Oh, you like my example? Okay, fine. Lay. All right. So lay, laid, laid. And to get laid is to have sex, right? So lay, laid, laid. And also, again, we said for chickens lay eggs. Okay. The chicken laid an egg. The second word, the second word, we haven't looked at the second word in homophones, but the confusing, right now we're looking at lay versus lie. So we said lay, ya hemos visto los significados. Lay, laid, laid. Now lie is lie, lay, lain. O sea, que la segunda palabra, el pasado, es igual que la primera palabra en nuestro homophones. So again, there are two verbs, lay, L-A-Y. It's lay, laid, laid. And then lie, which is lie, lay, lain. And again, the difference I just told you. I'm going to lie down. I'm going to lay this down. Okay. And don't mix that up with lie, mentir, because that's a regular verb. That's lie, lied, lied. You lied to me, que es igual que la segunda palabra. But we haven't looked at the Hawaiian thing yet. Pero quería aclarar eso because those are really tricky words and it's worth clearing them up. So if you didn't know, just remember this sentence. You lie down. Nobody's helping me. I got this. But you lay something down. So lay was our first word. The second word, the thing that you get if you go to Hawaii, and I don't know if this is fake or if this really happens. Can anybody confirm or deny? That's called a lay as well. So when I went to Hawaii, I had a good lay and they gave me a lay. Yeah, it's not my joke. Este chiste siempre surge. Oh, where did you get that lay? I got laid. Me pusieron leyes. Okay, so hay mucho chiste ahí. There are many jokes to be made there with these words, but it's not time for our joking section right now, my amigos. It's time to go to a place where I learned all my English and my daughter's learning English now over there in this amazing place full of so many stories. I'm talking about the movies. Name that movie. That's right. It's Name That Movie only on the Show with No Name. And as always, I'm going to read the trailer for you, and then we will take a look at a scene from the movie. Are you guys ready? All right, here we go. Young Florentines take refuge from the Black Plague and engage in bawdy adventures and lusty exchange. Don't worry, we're going to go through it. Young Florentines, gente de Florentina, Florentines, take refuge, refugio. They take shelter. They take refuge. Vamos a pronunciarlo porque es un poco diferente. The person is a refugee. Es una canción buenísima de Tom Petty. living like a refugee. And it's to take refuge. See, a little bit different there. So young Florentines take refuge from the Black Plague, la peste negra, and engage. And by the way, usando esta palabra plague, we use this in an expression in English. Cuando queremos evitar algo a tope, a saco, right? I would avoid that like the plague. Decimos, evita eso a todo coste, como si fuera la peste. And engage in, and this is to engage. We talk about this word a lot in social media. We talk about your engagement, but to engage in something is involucrarse en algo, meterse en algo. Think about it. If you're engaged, estás involucrado, estás metido en algo. Okay? In body adventures, and the word body, this is a great one. Body, obsceno, indecente. You can say obscene, you can say indecent, lewd, lascivious behavior. Well, hay muchas formas de decirlo. Body, smutty, right? So great words over there that we learned, and we didn't even look at the scene yet. We just looked at the trailer. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. Please give it up for Kubla. Taking over for Chris Valrol. Grabbing the reins, cogiendo las riendas. It's virgin territory. Now, I want every single person listening or watching right now to say this word because I've heard virgin a million times. Virgin, beer. We were talking about beer before, and if you're desperate for beer, have a beer, but don't say beer gin. Because beer, de hecho, beer gin, you're saying cerveza ginebra. What are you, an alcoholic? Beer, she's a beer gin. Whoa, and you sound like a bartender. Let's say the word together. Virgin. Virgin. La segunda parte sí que es gin, right? Como ginebra. But the first part is como Oh, if you're British, virgin, virgin, but no beer gin. I like it. Sounds like an interesting drink. It sounds like you'll be drunk after just one. Lemura says, today the movie is The Plague. It's not the movie, but thanks for participating, Lemura. All right, now, the movie is, again, it has to do with a plague, but the movie is called Virgin Territory, and it came out in the year 2003. It starred Hayden Christensen, Misha Barton, and Ryan Cartwright. And let's take a look at the scene here. Tindaro. Oh, and by the way, if you like the costumes in this movie, si te gusta the wardrobe, the costumes, it's Roberto Cavalli. Yeah, they spared no expense when they were designing the costumes. So this is what we would call a period piece. All right, so Tindaro says, while marrying Gerbino and Pampinea, le está casando a los dos. He says, Pampinea, have you taken a bath? Now, is it to take a bath or to have a bath? ¿En qué hemos quedado? Well, if you're British, you have a bath, you have a shower, you have a look. If you're American, you take a bath, you take a shower, you take a look. O sea, ambos. So, Pampinea, have you taken a bath? Lo dice la americana, ojo, eh? And Pampinea says, I have taken a bath this day, father. Now, this is very formal. Por eso hay que tener cuidado con estas películas antiguas, porque no hablan como hablamos. We would say today, no? So, I have taken a bath this day, father. And Tindaro says, witnesses of this holy matrimony. Holy matrimony. Okay, now we usually call it marriage, pero en la ceremonia they say, we are here to wed them in holy matrimony. Entonces sí que se usa la palabra, pero más en la parte formal. Then you would say, our matrimony, our marriage, es más lo que se diría cada día. What the layman would say. También, remember we said laico? The layman, uno cualquiera. So, witnesses of this, and witnesses testigo, witnesses of this holy matrimony. This woman comes, but there again, this is not the way we speak now. She come pure in both body and soul. Viene purísima en su cuerpo y su alma. Now, Gerbino de la Rata, nice name. Have you taken a bath? Now, I don't remember being asked this at my wedding. I know the vows, las promesas, and all of that stuff, but have you taken a bath? Wow. And Gerbino says, yes. And Tindaro says, when? And Gerbino says, I have taken a bath. And Tindaro says, are you sure? Remember that word sure, aunque es una S, se pronuncia como SH. Are you sure? Downstairs, abajo, y siempre es bueno ver the opposites here. So downstairs or upstairs. Where's your bedroom? Upstairs, downstairs? We only have one floor, so we don't have to use that one here. So are you sure? Downstairs, and here he's not talking about literally en la planta baja, pero está diciendo en tus partes, in your private parts, right? He goes, are you sure? Downstairs, between your legs, your crotch, tu entrepiernas. And Gerbino says, what? And Tindaro says, show me your hands. Enséñame tus manos. And Gerbino says, this is ridiculous. Esto es ridículo. This is ridiculous. And he shows him his hands. And Tindaro says, ugh, you have dirt in your fingernails. Tienes suciedad, mugre, right? Dirt. Cuidado, no es dirt, it's dirt. Es como si la I fuera una E. You have dirt in your fingernails. And Gerbino says, so? What's wrong? ¿Y qué? ¿Qué ocurre? And Tindaro says, now, I can't really say, ahora realmente no puedo decir, y viene citado, it's in quotes, witness of this holy matrimony, this man comes with pure body and soul, but with dirty fingernails. Now can I? No puedo decir eso. No es algo que se puede decir. And Gerbino goes to the fountain. Vamos a pronunciar esta palabra, por favor. Goes to the fountain. So, vamos a decir 3 o 4 palabras con esta terminación. Fountain, mountain, certain. Thinking of I can't think of any other ones, but you catch my drift. No es ain, sino in. Certain, como si no estuviera la A. Are you certain there's a fountain in the mountain? So he goes to the fountain, washing his hands, and he goes back to Pampinea and Tindaro, and he waves his hand in Tindaro's face, and he says, happy? ¿Estás contento ahora? And Tindaro nods. To nod is to move your head. You can nod yes, you can nod no. And Pampinea says to Gerbino, he was trying to help. And Tindaro says, yeah, exactly. Exactamente como, I don't need his help. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was today's Name That Movie. I can't believe it, but we have to go to our third commercial break. We'll be right back. We've got so much to do in the fourth and final part of today's show. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning and laughing with us. Oh, yeah. So much to do, so much. We've got 26 minutes to make it happen. Come on in, come on in. Yeah. All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. And man, have we got a lot of stuff to do. So let's get right back into it with today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name. And don't forget, folks, this is a section where we take those words that tend to be a little bit frustrating and we make it into a game. That's all. There are so many words like that in Spanish, too. The word gemelos in Spanish has like 3 or 4 different, has at least 3 or 4 different meanings that I can think of off the top of my head. And Kubla says LEI stands for Legal Entity Identifier. I'm sure it does, but that's not the one I had in mind. You guys know airports have different codes, tienen códigos. And LEI is the code for Almeria Airport. You know me, I am obsessed. I've got a one-track mind. No solo un tema, monotema, one track, una pista. And let's get on that plane because we've got to go visit our friend Joel in the Dominican Republic. What's up, Joel? Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, here's your Double Trouble challenge. Debe ser difícil ser un diamante en bruto. That's it. What, do you want it to be more difficult? Debe ser difícil ser un diamante en bruto. Okay? Debe ser difícil ser un diamante en bruto. That's today's Double Trouble. I think it's relatively easy. We'll see how you guys do. Also, I've got to give you the Say What soundbite. This is the 4th listen. We already have some super students who have figured it out. Let's see if anybody else can figure it out as well.
I've got a bad reputation around NBC as a troublemaker. The network brass think, actors are stupid. So naturally, any actor who thinks for himself or has any sort of intellect is a troublemaker to them.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That was the 4th listen. And as I said, this is just an opportunity for you to hear from all different people with all different accents in all different kinds of situations from all different time periods, too. Sometimes we hear stuff from the 40s and 50s. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, which is cool because that's got its own, je ne sais quoi as well. All right, let's take a look at today's Double Trouble over here and see if we've got anybody who has figured it out. The first person to participate is Leonardo. And speaking of diamante, bueno, tú eres un diamante. También en bruto because somos un poco brutos. It takes one to know one. But let's see if you got it. I'm going to bet on you. Yo apuesto por ti. And he says, it must be rough being a diamond in the rough. Oh, Leo, this is absolutely correct. I scared you. You're like, what? Absolutely correct. It must be rough being a diamond in the rough. Kubla says it has to be rough. It's another way to express it. It has to be rough being a diamond in the rough. Y fijaos, estoy diciendo diamond o diamond. Yo no pronuncio esa. La mitad de mi país o más dicen, nadie, de hecho, no conozco a nadie que dice diamond. Maybe británicos. In the States, we say diamond. So it's an interesting one there. Laura says it must be rough to be a rough diamond. It's good, Laura, pero como es frase hecha, it would be better to say a diamond in the rough is frase hecha. I would understand you totally, but just, these little nuances, these little syntaxes are very important. So a diamond, no diamond, diamond in the rough. And you guys shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. There are other words in English that are like that. Family. I never say family. I say family. 2 syllables. So what's another one? I'm thinking there are a few words like that where some students add an extra syllable, which I understand because it's there. But you know how English works. Just because it's there doesn't mean we pronounce it. I know sometimes you want to go up to the people who are running the English language, whoever's writing the dictionaries, and say, man, are you joking? Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar. You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking. We're going to take a look at the most hysterical or hilarious, as Monse said, the most hilarious jokes you've heard all day. And thank God it's been a short day. Thank God you guys got up just a little while ago. All right, so let's take a look here at our jokes. As always, if you get the jokes, feel free to explain them. You can explain them in our chat room. And if you're just listening to the show right now by yourself, or if you're listening to the podcast, I want you to ask yourself the same questions. Where's the funny part? Where's the punchline? And again, most of these jokes, if not all of them, are based on a pun, a double meaning. So the bubonic plague, the flu, and pneumonia walked into a bar. Todos los chistes empiezan así, ¿no? So the bubonic plague, the flu, flu is gripe, and pneumonia, pulmonía, walked into a bar. And the bartender asked, what is this? Some kind of sick joke? Oh, Jesus. So the bubonic plague, the flu, and pneumonia walk into a bar. The bartender says, what is this? Some kind of sick joke? Sick. All right, well, sick because they're diseases, they're sicknesses, they're illnesses. So that part makes sense. But what is a sick joke? What would that be? A sick joke. Does anybody get that secondary meaning? Well, a sick joke is, we mean twisted. And I think in Spanish you say retorcido. What is this? Some kind of sick joke? It's not funny. So a sick joke. 3 diseases walk into a bar. The bartender says, what is this? Some kind of sick joke? ¿Qué es esto? Un chiste que no hace gracia, que es, ¿no? De mal gusto. A sick joke. I know. You guys are sick of my jokes. Sick of? Harto? All right. Okay. Next one. I got a couple for you here. What did people say when they caught the Black Plague? What did they say? What was their reaction when they caught the Black Plague? Oh, rats. Oh, rats. No. Nobody. Rats. All right. Well, obviously, I don't know if it's obvious, but supposedly rats caused the Black Plague. Supposedly. Again, I wasn't alive, as you know. So, okay, rats. What's the also when you say rats or rats, it's like saying, geez. It's an interjection of saying, get it now. What did people say when they caught the Black Plague? Oh, rats. Ay, ratas. Or, ay, Dios mío. But don't be a rat. No seas un chivato. Don't be a rat. Also, I've got one more for you. Let's see if you get this one. This one is exclusively for superstars. That disease, I'm not going to mention it, but this thing has been the top of the news for the last, that thing that everybody's sick of, hablando de, harto de. I'm not going to even say the word. It's banned here on the show. You're not allowed to say it. But you know what? Seriously, I believe it's really put a strain on our society. Yeah, that thing, the 19, I don't want to say the name. I think it's really put a strain on our society. No? Do you get it? Well, a strain of a virus is, what would you call it? Let's see, I think you have it here. A strain. Do you have it of a virus? Estoy buscando aquí. Let me see. Well, strain, as I'm seeing, this is why I'm saying, what? There are like There are like 1,000 meanings here. Esguince. I strained my muscle. Oh, there it is. Kubla. Thank you. So, una cepa. Yeah, a strain of a virus. Y cuidado, no es virus, it's virus. A strain of a virus is a new mutation of it. I don't know if I'm using the correct medical terminology here. Una cepa, as Kubla said. Thank you so much, Kubla. And also, to put a strain on something is to put pressure on it, to put tension on it, right? To put unnecessary stress. Oh, man, it's really putting a strain. His drinking is putting a strain on our relationship. Le está poniendo presión. So you get it? That disease, that unmentionable disease that everybody's sick of hearing about, has really put a strain on our society. And pronounce the word with me. I want you to pronounce this word. It's not an easy one to pronounce. Society. Society. All right, folks, it's time for a little celebration in today's famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for me. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. That's right. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And our first birthday girl was born in the year 1986. An English-American actress. And she basically started out on stage. Many good actors, some of the best actors, have started out on stage. But you might know her from Notting Hill, which is interesting because I see a lot of people who say Nothing Hill, right? Nothing Hill. So Notting, it's not nothing, it's Notting Hill. She was also in The Sixth Sense, El Sexto Sentido, with Bruce Willis. No, Bruce Willis. It's not Bruce Willis. What else? She's been in series as well. And, well, I think you guys might know her from the movie Virgin Territory. Virgin Territory, which was today's Name That Movie. So did I say her name before? Yes, I did. Yes, absolutely. So if you were paying attention, then you will be able to figure this one out. This second one, his name, if you don't see it written, is de rodillas, o ponerse de rodillas, mejor, diamante. And we already looked at a diamond in the rough. So this guy, I guess it's a good name, right? It's a really good name. And I don't see like an original name. So I guess that's his stage name. I guess it's his real name. It's incredible. Well, this guy, I got to say, he's got one of the best voices ever, because some voices, when you hear them, they're just, they make you, they really make you feel, you know? And this guy's voice, one of my favorite songs of his is Everywhere Around the World, they're coming to America. Every time that flag unfold, I forget the lyrics, but they come. He's got this very, I don't know if it's baritone. I'm not an expert in that, but what a voice. What an amazing songwriter. He's also got Love on the Rocks. It ain't no surprise. Pour me a drink and I'll tell you some lies. And he was also the star of the movie The Jazz Singer, which is a really good movie. The Jazz Singer, the 1980 version of the Jazz Singer. And he's done a lot of other stuff and all that jazz. Y todo lo que conlleva and all that jazz. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, this person was born in 1949, an American actor and screenwriter. He became very well known in the sketch comedy show SNL, Saturday Night Live. He was very well known for his partnership with Dan Aykroyd, another fellow SNL, Saturday Night Live star. And they both worked together at Chicago's Second City. There are always places in these cities that are the places where Saturday Night Live goes, in Chicago, in New York. And those are the places, if you ever go to New York or Chicago, that you want to go, because you're going to probably see like a future star. So you got to go where they go to recruit. And yeah, this guy was born in Chicago to Albanian American parents. He was in National Lampoon's Animal House. He played Bluto. And this is a movie about a fraternity in the United States. What else? He was in so many movies. The Blues Brothers, you call it Dos Granujas or something like this. And well, unfortunately, he was battling demons, right? And he had struggled with substance abuse, and he died in 1982. Supposedly, it was a combined drug intoxication and heroin and cocaine, which is known as a speedball when you mix those two deadly substances. And well, that was the end of a legend. So this person will always be an icon, at least in the American eyes, you know, in the eyes of the American people. We always think of this guy as, you know, a legend. I was going to say a living legend. No, he's not a living legend. Let's see. Kubla says, I think esguince is sprain. Yes, that's another way to say it, but also strain is sobreesforzar. So a muscular injury. The player was out with a muscle strain. Un esguince muscular. So yes, you're right, and so am I. Let's see. And Kubla, it looks like you got today's famous birthday trivia. Please give it up for Kubla. Number one, Misha Barton. Number 2, Neil Diamond. And number 3, John Belushi. And let's go on over to today's Say What soundbite. This was John Belushi, the one and only John Belushi. And they were asking him, it was an interview, and they were asking him about his tenure, su tiempo, his tenure in SNL, in Saturday Night Live. So he says, I've got a bad reputation around NBC, the network. Tengo mala reputación. As a troublemaker. A troublemaker is a very logical word. Un follonero, I think you say in Spanish. And he says the network brass, and the network brass, we say the word brass, we're talking about the big wigs, los importantes, no, los jefazos. The network brass think all actors are stupid. Creen que todos los actores somos tontos. So naturally, any actor who thinks for himself, cualquier actor que piensa por sí mismo, or has any sort of intellect, is a troublemaker to them. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, John Belushi.
I've got a bad reputation around NBC as a troublemaker. The network brass think, actors are stupid. So naturally, any actor who thinks for himself or has any sort of intellect is a troublemaker to them.
All right, there you go, folks. John Belushi, the one and only El Mismísimo. And it's time for our final section, Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And guys, I want to give everybody a nice round of applause. You guys did a wonderful job. Absolutely wonderful job here today on the show with no name. It's been an absolute pleasure. Remember, we're going to come back tomorrow with new movies, new songs, new challenges. So make sure you join us. If ever you can't catch the show, thankfully, everything I say is recorded and in high quality recording, and you can catch those on the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, iVox, Spotify, and not just the show with no name, but all the Vaughn radio shows and my self-produced podcast For Your English, where last week I took you guys to Singapore. All right, well, I'm going to give you today's Name That Lyric. It's Neil Diamond, and it's I am, I said. Yo dije que yo lo soy. I am, I cried. Grité. This is Neil Diamond. Check out the lyrics with me. He says, LA's fine. Los Angeles está bien. The sun shines most of the time. Correcto. And the feeling is laid back. Mira, hemos mirado la palabra lay before. Well, laid back is tranquilo. And the feeling is laid back. Palm trees grow and rents are low. Ahora, tiene que cambiar esa frase. So palm trees grow, las palmeras crecen, and rents used to be, or rents were low. Antes eran bajos los alquileres. But you know, I keep thinking about making my way back, pero tú sabes que sigo pensando en volver o hacer camino a casa. Well, I'm New York City, born and raised, criado en Nueva York. But nowadays, hoy en día, I'm lost between two shores. Estoy perdido entre dos costas. LA's fine, but it ain't home. Los Ángeles está bien, pero no es casa. So it sounds like he's homesick, añorando su casa. New York's home, but it ain't mine no more. O sea, cuando vuelve a Nueva York ya no se siente en casa. It's a beautiful song about being homesick. Moriña, I think you say. I used to say Moriño. And he goes, but it ain't mine no more. And he goes, I am, I said. Yo dije que yo soy. To no one there. A nadie, porque no había nadie ahí. So esto es él declarando que yo estoy aquí, yo soy algo. And he's like to nobody there. Y no había nadie. And no one heard at all. Y nadie lo oyó en absoluto. Not even the chair. Ni siquiera, not even the chair, ni siquiera el asiento. So it's not only a beautiful song, but he's even got a sense of humor. This was a diamond in the rough, and then, well, he got huge. I'm talking about Neil Diamond. And you guys keep up the great work because you shine bright like a diamond. I am my cried, the show with no name.